Alright guys, I have another battle for you here today, and this one is against ShuckleRanchHand, another viewer of the stream. So let's go ahead and get started in this one, and yeah. This is another battle that I kind of botched the audio of, so the audio might be a little weird, as far as the game volume goes, and sorry about that. This is the last one I think I messed up. So, yeah, we'll try, hopefully, this will not happen in the future. Regardless, he leads with a Donphan, as I lead with Latios. I'm gonna, trick right off the bat, because I figured that would be a pretty good play, to give him a Choice Scarf, because Donphan is pretty damn slow, and, doesn't really appreciate that very much. Anyway, he just goes for the knockoff, though, and that's gonna do, some nice damage to Latios, and I am gonna switch out here, despite the fact I know that he's locked into knockoff, and I'm gonna lose an item on something, but I go out into, Fortress because I kind of figure, hey, I don't really need the leftovers on Fortress, and besides, Fortress, Fortress can now set up some rocks and stuff because obviously Donphan is not going to be doing much damage. So yeah, he goes into his Houndoom, which is his Mega, and Mega Houndoom is pretty darn scary. But I go out on my Politoed to set up the rain because it's not quite as scary in the rain. And yeah, he is going to Mega Evolve, and that is pretty cool for him. And yeah, as you can see, he's a Mega Houndoom. And yeah, he's going to Dark Pulse, which I didn't know how much damage it would do. I know Politoed is pretty bulky, but yeah, it doesn't really do as much as he would like, so he switches out into his Donphan, as I decide to go for the Hydro Pump because it would be super effective against his Houndoom. But yeah, I end up going for it again because, it's in the rain and Donphan is still weak to it, even though my first one missed, and I am able to take it out. So he goes out into Gengar, and Gengar is definitely a pretty annoying Pokemon, and he has Thunderbolt, and for some reason, I guess I stayed in, and Politoed is history. Oh well. Sorry, Politoed. Alright, so, he has the Life Orb. I go into my Conkel Dur, and I do that because I know he can't possibly, Will-O-Wisp me, but I forgot that these things carry Destiny Bond every now and then, and, that was a pretty darn good play for him, because, that is probably not an even sacrifice there. Gengar for Conkel Dur. Conkel Dur definitely could have came in and, been a danger to his team later, so it really does hurt to lose it. Regardless, he goes out into his Dragonite as I go out into Latios, which is a pretty good switch for me because I have more speed than him, and he's not going to get the Marble Scale up because of the Stealth Rock, so I am just going to go for the Draco Meteor, hoping to take it out, and as you can see, it almost definitely does, and the Dragonite is history, although now I have -2 special attack, so he should be able to come in here and set something else up. He ends up going into Alakazam, and this thing is pretty scary. Alakazam in any generation is a scary, scary Pokemon. So he goes for the Shadow Ball as I switch into Fortress, who's kind of a special wall, and it still does a ton, thanks to the fact that Steel no longer resists Ghost, which is unfortunate. And yeah, now he is going to kill me with Focus Blast, which hits, of course, because it's not me using it. Alright, so, Darmanitan. I'm going out into Darmanitan here. I'm hoping that I can live and take this guy out. And I do live. I go for the U-turn thinking he might have actually switched here. And he does stay in, and he lives thanks to the Focus Sash. So, yeah, that sucks for me. But pretty good item to have on Alakazam, being how frail it is. So I go back into Latios here, hoping that I can outspeed, even though I know I probably can't because I don't have my Scarf anymore. And yeah, Latios is history, and this Alakazam is just being a wrecking ball right now against my team. I go out into Aggron, which is my Mega. And interesting fact about Mega Aggron, he loses his Rock type, so that means that his Focus Blast is not going to, be X4, it's only going to be X2, and that does allow me to live. And of course, I'm going to go out and take him out with Heavy Slam, which is a pretty darn good move on Mega Aggron, being how heavy it is, thanks to its ability. And yeah, Alakazam is going to die, but he still has the Houndoom, and now that I'm pure Steel, there's no way I'm going to live a Flamethrower from this thing, but I tried. It was a good game overall. Thanks for the match, ShuckleRanchHand. And yeah, that pretty much wraps it up, because all I have left is Darmanitan, who can be outsped, and that sucks. So yeah, that's about it. Alright guys, so today's question of the day is, I asked last time what your favorite, champion was in any Pokemon generation. What is your favorite, Elite Four member? And I guess Lance is still a valid option, although I'm probably going to go Lorelei, because, I don't know, when I was a kid, Lorelei was the very first, and she gave me a ton of problems because when I was a kid, I basically just used Charizard, and that was pretty much it. And all of her Pokemon did a ton of damage to Charizard, so it actually took me longer to beat Lorelei than any of the other Elite Four members. Once I beat Lorelei, I just kind of swept the rest of the Elite Four fairly easily. But yeah, that's who I'm gonna say, just because of the nostalgia factor, I guess. I remember her giving me issues. So leave a comment with that. Who is your favorite Elite Four member in any Pokemon game? And I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.